welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Joanna. Glad you stopped by. What do I have going on today? Well, some of you may know if you follow me from the beginning. Some of you may not know if you're just subscribing, but I used to own my own business, running it out of home, and I made children's clothes and a lot of birthday outfits. I've made a lot of tutus, and this just happens to be my first granddaughter's first birthday. So my daughter has requested that I make a tutu that I have never done before. I've done something similar, but not like this one. This is new on me, so we'll see how this goes. And I'm not gonna do a voiceover, I don't think, unless I really screw up and make a mess and have to cut a lot out. Then, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, we will be using a sewing machine, rotary cutter, you know, a mat, you'll see. But if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and ring that little bell, it would be much appreciated. Because like I said, you never know what you're going to see. I bet half of you never expected this. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm just going to adjust my camera and I'll be right back. Okay, this is a tool for the tutu, and there are 6 colors, and I put them in order. I asked the lady to cut me a yard of each, and I'm going to cut my elastic for a 1-year-old, 12 months. Should be 17 inches. So I'm going to cut this at 17 inches with my rotary cutter. Don't need that part. Put that to the side. Okay. So the tutu has to be 9 inches long. So you take your tool that is cut off the bolt. Okay, so here is my fold that they had. And if yours is really wrinkled, you can steam it. I'm not too worried about it. It's not that bad. So you put your 2 sides together. This is your crease here. Okay. So first, I am going to even this end. These are as best as, you know, you can get them. So I'm going to take this and let me make sure first that this is as good as it can get, you know, on edge to edge, because you want it as close as you can. I use these for weights. I got them at a local hardware store. Some people wrap them. I don't even care to wrap them. I know what they are, whether I wrap them or not. I'd rather have them like this. They're less slick. But anyways, I'm going to use them to hold it. And I'm just going to come over here where my 1 inch is. And I wish I was left-handed on this one. I'm just going to hold that down. And I'm going to cut that off evenly across there. Okay. So now what I want is, if it has to be 9, so we'll do 18 inches. If I bump the camera, I'm sorry. You are right on my table with me, and that cannot be helped. I shrunk my table. So, anyways, you're going to cut 2 of each at 18 inches. And I'm not even going to apologize about my music anymore if I'm doing videos like this, because a lot of you said you liked it. So now I'm just going to trim off the end right here. And I know those are probably loud. Any bumps on this table, but I have nowhere else to put my tripod. And I am very sorry. Oh, I cut that at 19. My bad. It's supposed to be 18. Okay. So I'm going to do this to each one of my tools. So that'll be one, and then I'm going to do blue. I'm trying to do this, you know, as Roy G. Biv, you know, we've all learned that thing in school to learn the rainbow, colors of the rainbow. So that's what I'm trying to do. Keep them in order like that. But anyway, get them as close as you can. I'm trying not to bump this table so bad. I'm going to pull it down. Cut my edge off. You know, I better put that somewhere else, because I know me and I will cut it. Ooh, stop slipping, girl. Stop slipping. Y'all, I didn't even use that edge. I just followed that line. I don't do that very well most of the time. Scoot it up on the edge, and I'm going to cut an 18. Because I remembered this time. Over here. Grab all your layers, bring it down. Match it up to the one. Now I'm trying to hit that garbage, but it's hid under the table, so it's like going all in the floor and everything. So I'm just going to do all these tools. This is my last cut, and I just wanted to show you, if you don't have a rotary cutter and this little thing here, just use whatever you can to hold your tool down if you choose to. And you can take a normal pair of scissors and go on this line and just trim right down the line with the point of your scissors as your guide. And then you would go down here and you would cut at 18. And then you would cut another 18, which is down on this line. Okay, so here's your tool. We're going to want to cut our ribbon. So we're going to cut long ways because we really want this to ruffle. This will be our top casing. This will be our ruffle. So you want your ribbon just a hair bit bigger than your tool because we're going to be attaching our ends. So I have this ribbon and all the colors. I did get it when it was on sale from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so let me do it this way. I want this ribbon a little bit longer than this. So if this is 28, then I'm going to cut this at about 29. So you need 2 of them for each one of your pieces of tulle so you know they're 29. So cut each one of your ribbons. Now I've got my ribbon laid out the way that I want it, you know, as far as my colors go. So I'm going to take a lighter, and I've heat sealed those ends. What you're going to do is you're just going to want to run your lighter across the edge, and that heat seals and keeps it from fraying. And I do this on each one of my ribbons just to make sure they're not going anywhere. And I've got my good lord, my glue gun plugged up, and it has fabric glue. I love it. I get it at Hobby Lobby. I think my lighter's about out of fluid, y'all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my ribbon on the bottom with just a very small amount of glue. And I'm going to tack these to each other because I'm going to sew across the top and I don't want to have to add them. It's just easier for me to do it this way. So I'm just going to add a dot of glue and then push my ribbon on it just to tack it on. It's not going to show at all when you get it going on the tutu. It won't show. This is why I said we needed to cut just a little bit extra so that we could lap them over and make them fit on tutu. I am glued over here and it's kind of hard. Alright, now we've got all of our strips attached. I'm going to leave this up here. I feel like a clown pulling stuff out of a hat or something. Okay, now we're going to go to the machine and we're going to leave our tulle folded as even. You know, we want this edge as even as possible because that's where we're going to be attaching our ribbon. So if you want to, you can pin it. That's up to you. I buy these hair clips when they go on sale at Hobby Lobby, and they are a lot cheaper than using the, you know, sewing clips or whatever. So I'm just going to clip all my ends, and I'm going to do this to all of my tulle. Now I've got them all this way, you know, whatever, as even as I can. This don't have to matter as much as your top casing, because this is where you're going to sew a line and make your casing, and I'll show you how to do that over at the machine. Okay, so we're at the machine. We're going to use white thread. This is what I like to do. My needle is here. I can move it over, but I'm just going to keep it in the middle. I'm going to bring my needle down, and then I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to mark where my tulle has to go, because I don't do this all the time, but for y'all, I am doing this. I don't want it snug, but I don't want it loose going through the casing. So I'm just going to take my tape. Sorry, it's stuck to each other. Okay. I'm just going to stick it right there. So I know it goes right there, so I'm going to try to get it as straight. And I'm going to try to line it up with this line right there, so that I get it straight. And let me see. Yep, that gives me a little leeway, so that's pretty good. So, it's funny. So, we're just gonna keep it on a straight stitch, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bump our casing top, trying to keep this as flat as possible, up against this tape. That's your measuring mark. This machine sews really, really close, so I always increase my stitch length. And then you're just going to sew, hit your back stitch button on your machine, and then just sew. Okay, I'm almost at the end of all of my tulle layers, and I'm going to go and I'm going to back stitch and then finish off. Now, here comes the scary part. I'm going to have to attach that ribbon to the bottom. So all these are attached. So I'm going to go take all the clips off. I know that's a little noisy, sorry. I'm going to take all the clips off and get it ready to add the ribbon. You can sew it with all white or whatever color you want, but I personally cannot do that. I have to match all my ribbon colors just because that's how I am. So I'm going to be changing thread and bobbins, and well, maybe not the bobbin. I might leave the bobbin white, but the top thread is definitely going to get changed. So if that don't bother you, go ahead and sew it, you know, whatever way you want to, but it bothers me and I can't do it. Make sure when you get your ribbon that you get the side that is open, because that's the side we're going to sew. Here we go. Thanks for being patient with me. And if you weren't, then I'll never know. Okay, so you're just going to take your ribbon. Let me make sure I'm on the right side. I am. And you're just going to line it up on that edge. I line my ribbon up with my side of my presser foot. And you can leave it in the middle, but I'm going to take my stitch all the way to the edge. If you're doing this, you're not going to go off if you keep your ribbon on the edge. This back here, just kind of keep it even as you can when you're sewing. And you're just going to sew straight stitch, always back stitch. Hold this as flat as possible. Now I'm going to switch my thread to the blue, and I'm going to continue this out till I'm, you know, at the end. But I'm going to be swapping threads a lot, so I'm just going to pause you. Okay, so we're all sewn together. All my colors. My ribbon's on. Let's see if this does what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to poke a safety pin through there. And I'm going to have another safety pin to stop it. So I'm going to find an end. Oh my gosh. Watch me have to start at the... I had to go the long way around. That's about the story of my life. Okay, so you're just going to take this and you're going to weave it through. And it may be tight trying to go through. We wanted it snug, not, you know, I don't want it slipping around in there, so I'm doing it snug. Make sure you try to catch all your layers. And this is harder than it looks. Alright, so here we go. We're in this one. We got to do this a few more times. I'm just gotta keep pushing it down. Alright, we're through the pink one. Yay! We're getting somewhere. We got a long way to go, but we got somewhere. Now through the orange one. Now you're just going to do this all the way around until you get to the end. Sorry, I had to see where I was going. Oh me. Alright, so here we go. We're in this one. We got to do this a few more times. I'm just gotta keep pushing it down. Alright, we're through the pink one. Yay! We're getting somewhere. We got a long way to go, but we got somewhere. Now through the orange one. Now you're just going to do this all the way around until you get to the end. Sorry, I had to see where I was going. Oh me. My little tweezers here. Ooh, that sure does help. Oh yeah, baby, y'all need some of these. I get them in the yarn department in Hobby Lobby. They're about $8 though. And they never go on sale that I know of. I could be wrong. So you're just going to do this all the way around till you get to the end. When you get to the one end, you'll want to take and put your safety pin through the elastic and through there so it doesn't go back through. Last one. By the time y'all get to the end, it gets so much easier for you. Just saying. Alrighty. Now, we're at the end. I am snipping my thread right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this end, take my safety pin out, take this safety pin out. Make sure this don't slip through your skirt. It's pretty tight, so, you know, it might not. Now, you're going to have to sew these two together. But I'm going to stabilize them with fabric glue. I love, love, love these fabric glue sticks. Now, once you get it tacked, I mean, you don't have to do that. It's just easier for me. You just take your needle and thread. And I find it easier to do it this way and just sew on the edges. If you don't sew this way, then don't sew this way. If you know a better way, do it. This is just the way I prefer so that I know it's stuck down. Now, after I get a few stitches over there, I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing because, you know, I want to make sure I get both sides. This to me is easier than going in, out of the middle and all that jazz. And I'm just gonna keep stitching till I feel that it is secure. I mean, she'll probably only wear this one time for her birthday, but I want to make sure it don't fall off when she's at her party. Okay, tie that off. And I'm just spreading this out a little bit where it's not so bunchy in one area. All right, there you go. Now, there was this much left, and I will tell you, while I was sewing, I ended up with some extra. So what I done was I just cut it off. You're gonna have to glue this together to keep it from flopping apart. And then any spot that I connected and had a gap, then I would fill them in if I see them. And so make sure you cut all your strings. If you have a piece like this that's sticking out, just poke it in there. Take your glue, run it in there, and watch your fingers on the other side, and tack that down. Hidden, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know why I'm trying to snip that with those things. If you have any tulle hanging down, trim that. Make sure you trim all your little threads. Okay, now that the tutu's done, we're going to kind of make a tutu for the high chair. You know, it's the banner that goes around the high chair when she eats her little cake. And I printed the one at home before I came here. Oh, this is my daughter, Jennifer. Sorry about that. So I'm at her house. But anyways, I printed and then I took a hole punch and punched holes in them. And that's where we're going to string the ribbon through. And I measured this ribbon around the high chair from the front and then left room to tie, and then I'm going to place command strips right here to keep it from sagging. So with that being said, she can string the one on. Go ahead.
So we'll start with the E. I'm going to work backwards, and then you have to go in from this side and through and back through the other end. Just make sure your ribbon stays straight. And then we're going to do the end and this side through this side. Keep the ribbon straight. And then the last, this way and out to the other end. And then from there, Mama will explain how we're going to do the ribbons.
Okay, I've got fabric that matches. She's, you know, with the cocoa melon and all these colors and, you know, patterns and things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fabric, and we normally I would do it with pinking shears, which is the zigzag scissors, but I forgot mine at home, and I just told her I'm not paying $30 for another pair. So the next best thing is to take your fabric and cut a little slit and then rip it. And we're going to do the ripped edge so that we can pull all the strings off at one time and it won't be fraying everywhere. So you take your fabric and you cut about 1 inch to 1.5 inches down. Sorry, that's my grandson on his iPhone. And then you're just gonna rip it in sections, and then you take the sections and you pull all of your strings off so that they're not looking tacky and hanging down and stuff like that. So we're just gonna cut them and then pull our strings off, and we're gonna do this we're gonna cut several out of this fabric and each one of these, and then we're gonna show you how to tie them on the string.
We'll be back.
Somehow it did not record. So anyways, we have our strips, red, orange, in the order. And then we're just going to tie them on. And the way we tie them on is we put the sides together, put them together till we have a loop as even as can be. And then whichever way you put this in, you pull it that way. So we're going to put it in here, run it through our loop, hold your string, and pull till it looks like a little necktie. And we're going to do these alternating colors all the way down until we get almost to the end, leaving room where we can tie it. Just like that. Y'all, these are kind of hard to do.
No.
Well, we've
ignored my grandson. He is having a good time by himself. Oh, sorry, my granddaughter's not a happy camper right now.
still doing it like this. We've noticed that if you pull the material instead of pulling on the string, that it's easier to get tighter and not look so much like a bow tie.
You mean necktie?
Necktie. Whatever it's called.
She gets it from me. Okay, so we have it done. She's got these spaced out. I got these 2 command hooks from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to hook them on to the front of the... What is that thing? The front of the tray on the high chair. And then they'll be hooked in here. And we'll show you that in just a second.
So this is our finished product. Not really sure what kind of high chair you may be working with, but with this one we were able to tie the ribbon here and here, and then we used the command hooks, which kind of just support to make sure it doesn't fall down with the one in the middle. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Well, there's my beautiful granddaughter and her beautiful mom with the outfits that we made. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel to see more content. You can ring that bell to be notified when I upload a video. With all that being said, till next time, God bless.